I was 13 years old. I came to New York for my bar mitzvah present with my father, and he took me to the Luntfontein Theater to see Walking Happy with Norman Wisdom. It is itchy. It's particularly itchy back here as this part starts tickling me. I grew it for one sole reason. I'm playing Prospero in Shakespeare's Tempest at the Classic Stage Company Theater. And Prospero is a fellow who lives, someone tried to kill him actually, him and his daughter, and so he's been living on an island for over 12 years. And I thought that this might help look like that. I just live with it. I've lived with it for 6 or 7 months now, every day, walking all over the streets of New York, saying the words, thinking about everything they mean to me. Then for the past month, we've been in rehearsal, saying the words together with the other actors, seeing what they mean to all of us, having discussions about the reflections that they have to the world we live in, from the world long ago to the world at this moment, to what possibilities the world has in the future for all of us. And how this gifted man named William Shakespeare wrote these words that are so simple yet timeless because his understanding of human nature was boundless and no one can compare it to him. And so the words themselves make themselves prescient and immediate. Thank you, Carol. My boys are doing fine. They're very happy. They don't like me to say where they are because they like their privacy, but they are away from home, devouring life and loving it. And I couldn't be a happier dad. You'd have to ask them in terms of whatever their favorite role is. I would always hope they would just say, "Just being you, Dad." The husband to my wife. Well, in some ways Shakespeare is like a musical because the language is incredibly musical. Most of it is written in an iambic pentameter, which has its own rhythm and nature, although I break that whenever I feel like it. I don't feel loyal to have to meet the meter. My goal is just to connect to the people I'm talking with, to connect to the words and what the man who wrote the words wanted my character to do in the play. And that's my sole goal, is to just be there, listen, and be available to what's going on right at that second. That's easier said than done. I never listened to any of them. I did listen to one cast recording. And that was years ago. Someone was doing an interview about Bernadette Peters, the New York Times, and they wanted to talk to me, and I'd never listened to the cast recording from Sunday in the Park with George, so I put it on in the car one day, and I took a drive to try to trigger my memory. And I just had to pull the car over because the recording tells the story so beautifully that Stephen Sondheim and James Lapine wrote for Sunday in the Park, and I was just overwhelmed by it. And it was one of those moments where I realized you never realize what you have until it's long behind you. And so that's the only time I've listened. I live with this part day and night. I go to every part I play. It's 24/7. I'm always thinking about it. I can't walk away from it. There's not a conversation I have, even during this interview. I somehow figure, how does this relate to the Tempest and Prospero and what my job is and why am I here talking to this camera to talk to you and what is it? You know, I never walk away from it. I'm just. Well, how did this camera get on this desert island? I don't know. The cantor in my synagogue and all the people in the choir on Friday night, which was the family choir, and then I was in the boys' choir in the synagogue on Saturday mornings. So my influences were solely all the voices I heard around me every Shabbos in the synagogue. Steve, I came to New York City in 1972, September, to go to the Juilliard School of Drama. I lived, I can't remember the name of the hotel, but it was the first night. It was a little penthouse room, but it was a hovel. And the first night, somebody walked in the room right off the fire escape, and they were drunk out of their mind, looking for a friend of theirs. I calmly said, laying in my bed, no, he's not here. And they walked out the window, and then I grabbed my little trunk that was the same kind of trunk I took to camp, and I got in a taxi and went to the Holiday Inn and never went and looked back. I have no plans for an album at the moment. I'm just working on, new music all the time, and in the fall, I have this new show I put together with Patti LuPone and myself, and so we hit the road for that, I think, together in March. But Paul Ford and I are always working on new songs. If you have any songs, send them in, and the Broadway guys will get them to me. Well, Kathy, we were in Evita together in 1979. I actually first ushered for Patti when she was in year 1 at Juilliard, and I was in year 4, and year 1 was the first year of the acting company, and William Hurt and I were in the same class, and we were their ushers. So that's the first time I saw her, but I never worked with her until Evita in '79, and I fell in love with her. She just became my friend forever, just my friend forever, and I adore her. And it's been a long time since we got to work together again, and this has been a glorious experience putting a show together for the two of us that I think we'll keep changing and playing with until we die. That's my hope. Tommy, as someone quotes The Princess Bride to me, I think at least once a day, every day of my life, and I love it. I'm so glad about it. Particularly when little kids come up to me, and I never, I don't look like the guy in the movie sometimes. I mean, maybe when I don't have my beard I do, but they always want to hear the line, so I make them turn around and I whisper it in their ears so that I don't freak them out, wondering like, well, that's not, he sounds like that guy, but he doesn't look like the guy. But it was a great privilege to be a part of it, and I can't believe I'm in it. Hello. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. That's for you, Elizabeth. There are no misconceptions about me, Judy, whatsoever. Every conception I'm grateful for.